All right, so as we sort of discovered yesterday, we had forgotten to implement a logout. So let's go ahead and do that now. Taking a look at our application, when we log in, I want probably just a logout button right next to this. It'll probably be very similar to this add task. It'll just sort of be there. Let's go ahead and look at our nav bar. And I believe it is, yeah, okay. So if we are logged in, do this one. Here's our welcome. So I want a BB, um, we could do a BB link or a BB button. Either way would be fine. I think a BB link would be easiest to do here, and then we'll just use a set. Uh, yeah, I think that's gonna work. So if I copy you, put you down there. Okay, so our text will be log out. Data test, let's make this a log out. Route. Um, I want you to take us back home. And then link type. Now, a button might be nice too, but link type button here. Let's just see how this looks. I don't see that at all. Let's see, BB link, log out. It's in here, so I see the. Oh, there it is. Was I just blind? Did I? Okay. Styling is a little bit odd. I want these to sort of stay together. I'm gonna throw these together in their own div, maybe. Just that they're hanging out at the in the same place. Okay. I also want them to be next to each other. So for this div, I do want this to be essentially a like logout button. So we'll do class equals logout. Or I guess it's not like logout buttons, but we can do like class maybe. It's sort of like the right side. So maybe this is the right or nav right maybe. And then we could, so we could set up a style sheet separately than this, but this style sheet doesn't have the things inside of it. So I kind of want to put, like a div around all of this. Just so that way I could then have this be inside of a section. So section, go here, and everyone inside of there, and then we'll have a .nav right. We'll have a display flex, and I think that would do it. Oh, and then this class style sheet, you go away and come onto here. Okay, so recompiled. And there we go. Okay, so now we have logout showing up along with our welcome Brooks. Okay, so now when I click this, it kind of does take me home, but at the same time, I want to also have us navigate and like remove the token. So I want an on click. And so this is where I'm not completely sure. Perhaps a button would be better here. Let's see sort of like how that would end up looking. Let's also open up our button over here on the right and see what we need to do to implement it. Let's see, do I have a button? Doesn't look like I do. Let's use create components. Atoms button. Okay, so we're gonna do our BB button. All right, so we need that data test equals, it's gonna be log out. We're gonna have a label, and I want you to be probably just log out. We're gonna need an on click, but that's an option. So we can just for styling purposes, just take a look at it here and see which one we like more. This is really no different. So I think this is gonna be fine. Okay. So let's I want to inside of .nav right. Then inside of each one in here. So let's go like for the everything directly inside. Okay, so for buttons, then let's do a margin left of like 10 pixels. Just give a tiny bit of space between the welcome message and the logout button. There we go with that. Okay, so when I click this, what do I want to have happen? Well, we're going to have an on click here. So let's go ahead and create our logout on click. And we're going to do a callback from, we can start with just a glue console log and just see like, okay, logging out. Just to make sure that it's working. So we'll do on click equals logout on click. Oh, but we have an error. What is our error? We have a callback from closer. Oh, you need to take an element, which is a mouse event. Okay, let's try this again. Now there's no error. And so when I click this, okay, we get logging out. Excellent. Now I don't really care about this event, so I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, so now what? As soon as we hit the logout button, we want a couple things to happen. First of all, we want to tell the server that we're logging out, and that's going to be an API call. And if I remember, it's just going to be to like send a post to users logout. We can actually go into my other VS Code here, where we have our backend tests, API tests, and I'm going to search for log out. So test log out. We're going to send a post. Oh no, wait, this creates a user. Oh, here it is. Send it to base URL /users/logout, and that should be a post. And we have to send in that XAuth token too. So not this one, but this one. Let's go ahead and don't need you anymore. Let's open up our API and create a new log out function. Pub async function log out. We need the token, which is going to be that stir. And then that's it. I don't think we need anything else. So we're going to let's return a result with nothing and an API error. All right, so let request equals request. I think that was a post to format. So this is slash users log out and add in our base URL. Then we set our header, which is this XAuth token. And the token. We don't need to send anything else, so we should just be able to do a send. We await that response, and we should be able to unwrap that. All right, so that gives us the request. We can now handle any problems that come with this. I don't think we're gonna have any, but if we do, we should probably figure out what those are. So if request dot okay, then we're gonna return okay. Otherwise, if the request is not okay, we want to now handle the errors. So error, handle errors, request.status. And then that will get handled up here. Okay, back to our nav bar. Inside of this closure here, we are just saying that we're logging out. Well, we need the token, so we're going to grab that from the Yew.rs store here. Let token equals, this is going to be a use store. Okay, so clone that and then unwrap or default here. And that will give us the token, which is our string. We come back into here. Okay, we have to do a move to move the token in. We're gonna need a dispatch too. Okay, so we clone the dispatch out as well. So we now have that. Inside of here, we want to now make our call, which is going to be in a wasm bindgen futures spawn local. So we're going to have a move and async. Nope, it's async move. Okay, so we have our async move block. And then inside of here, we want to now do our API call. So we're going to API log out, and we're going to pass in a reference to the token. Then we're going to await, and we need to handle this, don't we? Because currently you are returning this result with an API error. We want to see in here. What's our store look like? Wait, that's not a store. Mod and oh, there's a store. We don't have any kind of like error message or anything else right now, so we should probably just log this out in the case that it fails for some reason, and then we could deal with that at a later time. So let's go ahead and there is, if it's also true, there's some other code we want to run too. So I'm gonna do a match on this here. Okay, so if it's okay, save to get the right tabbing. If it's okay, I want to, I don't really need anything. We're gonna do something. If it's an error, we want this error, and I'm gonna console dot error. Oh, sorry, can't just console the error. We're gonna do glue console error. I'm gonna glue console this error dot toString, which should log out the message of the error because it implements error, which does implement toString. Okay, now we are successful with logging out. What does that really mean? It means that we need to head over to home, regardless of where we are, and we also need to remove the token from the store. So in the store here, do we have? Let's see what reducers we have here. So we have a login. We have log out here, which if we look at that, that resets our store tokens. Let's just call this log out function. So we're going to do store log out and pass in a dispatch. Okay, so that should log us out. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to actually move over to, we want to then go into, what is it called? We want to go home, like regardless of where we are. Also, something else we're noticing, we have this move, but then we're trying to jump all the way from here into this other async move. So we need to go a couple directions. So we need this token, so that token equals token.clone, and let dispatch equals dispatch.clone. Okay, so that should make that happy. What's next? We need history so we can properly then navigate us back home. So let history equals use history. Oh, and unwrap. That should be fine here. Then we're going to clone that in here. Then we can use that inside of here. So we'll do a history. We'll push. We have to have a route home. Okay, that's a lot of stuff we just did. Let's see if that works. So I'm gonna go back here. Let's imagine we're in this another new task, and I hit logout. We head back home. The welcome message disappears, and our create account login is gone. But you know something else? We have a bunch of tasks here, and that doesn't seem appropriate. If we log out, we should probably remove these from local storage as well. So let's go ahead and add that into the store for a logout. So we have username token, and let's set store.tasks equals just an empty vector. Okay, and let's try this again. We'll log in. Here we are. We have all of our tasks. We're going to go to another new task. We log out. Hey, and it's all gone. And if we want all of this stuff to also disappear and like not be displayed while we're in a logged out state, we can check that really quickly. Let's see, that's in home. We can see here's our filters. We really want this to be probably an if statement inside of here, to not display really any of this stuff unless we're in a logged in state. Okay, so can we figure out if we're logged in? Well, we can if we just have access to the token, then we know we're logged in. So let's just grab that down here. So let our token equals, what is it going to be, use store. Store type. We'll grab state, please. Sure. State. Well, okay, there we go. It's starting to figure things out. Map. We'll have our state token. Clone it. And unwrap or default. Okay, so that gives us a token, which is just this string. And if the string is empty, then we are not logged in. So now we'll just come into here and do a if token is, I guess it's is empty is wrong. We want this to be not is empty. Come down here all the way to our tasks, and below it, we'll close this out. We could have an else in here and just throw in something like log in to see your tasks, but I think that might be obvious too. Let's see how this looks. All right, so recompiled. Hey, and we're logged out and we don't see anything in here. So let's log back in again. And there we go. Okay, we got all of our stuff. Log out and they're all gone again. Okay, so that is how we can implement a log out button that makes everything disappear when we don't want to see it. So that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.